Alright, I'm going to attempt to do a video on spraying metalizers from Model Master paints, at least how I do it. I don't know, some people have problems with them. I haven't had any problems with them since I've been spraying them, and I love them, and I've collected all the colors over time. I made some paint chips, I guess you'd call it. I just took some styrene, this is from an old calendar, and I sprayed it. In this case, I sprayed it with Krylon Black, the old version of it. I still have a couple cans left over. Behind them, I've used Tester's Enamel Black thinned with lacquer thinner. I've used the Alclad Black base, but I believe it's mainly pretty much black enamel. I'm not sure. But anyway, I made some of these test strips to just see the different colors. All the colors along the bottom row are the buffing metalizers. I usually use a piece of pantyhose to buff them. I've had no problems with the colors coming off in any way. It's just I've never had that problem. You can buff through it. I mean, if you buff vigorously enough, you can buff through the color. I mean, that's true. But I've never had a problem. I've heard where people are saying that it comes off easy, it picks up fingerprints, it's just terrible to work with. I mean, I've had my hands all over these things many times, and there are no, unless my hands are greasy, I don't, it's not leaving fingerprints even. And if you do get a little bit of a fingerprint that you can see in the light, on the buffing colors at least, you can kind of buff it a little bit and it just takes it out. They're not as vigorous as the Alclads, but they're perfectly great paints. I love them. The only thing I like better is the Alclad Chrome, but as far as metal colors, I love these. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. I just want to show how I do it, so maybe people can see something that I'm doing differently. Here's all the colors I have in a container here. I keep them all. You know, like I said, I have all the colors, all the buffing and non-buffing. I haven't never used the spray can versions of it. The airbrush I use is a Paasche H with the number 3, which is the medium needle. That's just what I always use. I also robbed a cap from a tester's bottle or a Model Master bottle, and I took the assembly out of a Paasche bottle and installed it on a metalizer cap, so I can stick this directly into, you know, take the metalizer, unscrew the top, screw this on, spray, and then what I do is I'll lift it up out, unscrew the bottle and lift this up out of it a little bit, and then unscrew the needle, and it just all the paint goes boop right back into the bottle. I can't take credit for this method. I read about it on the internet somewhere, and I will give credit to that after I do the video. Cleanup is very minimal. It doesn't waste a lot of your paint like using a color cup, and it works fantastic, and you can go from color to color to color, because the only thing left is just a very thin coating right in this area. Since it's not an internal mix airbrush, it just works great, and the brush is very simple and cheap. You can buy, for the Paasche, if you go that route, you can buy a bottle. It's the half-ounce bottle that actually, for the H, that is the metalizer size. If you don't want to cobble your own together from an empty bottle, you can also just get the bottle and then drill your hole and put the assembly in it. I use very low pressure, try to kind of hit around that 18 psi or a little less, and try to do just light dustings of paint when I spray. But I'm going to go ahead and take my setup outside now. Okay, I'm just going to do just a couple quick colors, a couple parts. I'm doing an intake for an engine. I'm going to do I'm going to do that in the titanium buffing, and the transmission housing I'm going to do with the aluminum plate buffing. And I also have a bottle of lacquer thinner in the same size. Make sure it's really shook up good. That's one key. I just unscrew it, screw it onto the airbrush. I've I've got my air pressure at around 15. I've got the paint flow adjustment, which is this here. You can screw in and out. The further you screw it out, the more paint flow. I start out with it kind of low and just keep tweaking it until I see just a light mist coming out. Alright, and then I'm going to do transmission. Goes on really well, very lightly. Just doing a little, as you typically airbrush anything, just light passes. And I could just go ahead and usually I'll just do it in one coat. Right. It's coming out really light, so I'm not putting on a lot. You know, it's actually going on very lightly. It's a little different from the way you would do the alclad, obviously. And that's it. Unscrew it, open the nozzle, and the paint drips right out, and then just kind of tap it. You can see there's just a little bit in the bottom of the straw, and that's it. It's just about cleaned out. I'll drop it into the center. Give it a few sprays just to clean it out real good. Tighten up that bottle. Go to the next color. Alright. It mixes up pretty good. Alright, now I'm on my next color, which is the titanium buffing. And now, since I've adjusted this needle, I'll go back down to just barely open, spray a little, tweak it till I see just a light good mist of it coming out. Alright. Same pressure for every color. The only thing that I'm adjusting at all between colors is just getting this, tweaking this setting and getting it going before I spray the part. And that's it. Nice coating on there. No black showing through. I'll take the bottle, open the nozzle. I don't know if you can see it just pouring right back out. And then just tap. And in this case, most of it just came right out. It's probably just a little bit thinner of a color, less pigment in it. And that's it. Very little waste. Then I'll run it back through here again. Spray out the last of that color. Back flush it a little bit. Okay. And then I'll probably, later on, I'll just take these pieces out, dump them in some cleaner, and that's it. This is, an external mix, so it's really easy to clean.